Here's a weird question for you. What are the odds that evolution would create a giant squid? Pretty low, right? It's a bizarre creature that lives in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, grows to absurd sizes, and looks like something out of a monster movie. So what are the odds that evolution would create a giant squid twice, completely independently, in different parts of the ocean, with different body plans, different hunting strategies, and different evolutionary histories? Because that's exactly what happened. We have the giant squid, which lives in temperate and tropical waters around the world. And we have the colossal squid, which lives only in the deep waters around Antarctica. They're not closely related, they didn't evolve from the same ancestor, and yet they both arrived at the same solution: get absolutely massive. This isn't a coincidence, it's convergent evolution, and it's one of the most fascinating patterns in all of biology. Evolution keeps making the same animals over and over again because certain body plans just work. And when different species face similar challenges, they often evolve similar solutions. So why did evolution create two giant squids? How are they different? And could it happen again? Let's start with the basics. The giant squid and the colossal squid are both enormous cephalopods that live in the deep ocean. But that's about where the similarities end. They belong to different families, they live in different places, and they have very different body plans. The giant squid, scientifically known as Architeuthis dux, is built for speed and reach. It can grow up to 43 feet long for females, though most of that length comes from its two extremely long feeding tentacles. Its body is relatively lean and streamlined, designed to move quickly through the water. It's like the cheetah of giant squids, fast, agile, and built to strike from a distance. Giant squids live in the mesopelagic and bathypelagic zones, roughly 300 to 1,000 meters deep, in oceans all around the world. Now, compare that to the colossal squid, Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni. This thing is built like a tank. It's shorter than the giant squid, maxing out at around 33 to 35 feet, but it's way heavier. The heaviest colossal squid ever found weighed over 1,000 pounds. And scientists think the biggest ones could reach 1,300 pounds or more. The colossal squid lives exclusively in the deep waters around Antarctica, usually between 1,000 and 2,200 meters deep. Unlike the giant squid, which hunts with suction cups, the colossal squid has rotating hooks on its tentacles. These hooks twist into prey and hold on like grappling hooks. It's not built for speed, it's built for raw power. It's an ambush predator that waits in the darkness and crushes whatever it catches. So we've got two squids, both enormous, but one is long and fast while the other is short and heavy. One lives in temperate oceans worldwide, while the other lives only in Antarctic waters. One uses suction cups while the other uses hooks. They're solving the same problem, surviving in the deep ocean, but they're doing it in completely different ways. Here's where it gets interesting. These two squids didn't evolve from a common giant ancestor. They evolved gigantism independently. Their last common ancestor was probably a normal-sized squid that lived millions of years ago. And somewhere along the line, two separate branches of the squid family tree decided that getting huge was the way to go. This is convergent evolution in action, when unrelated species evolve similar traits because they face similar environmental pressures. It's like how bats, birds, and pterosaurs all evolved wings even though they're not closely related. Flight is just really useful. So evolution figured it out multiple times. In the case of squids, gigantism is really useful in the deep ocean, so evolution figured it out at least twice. Let's start with the giant squid. It lives in what we call the midnight zone, where sunlight doesn't reach and temperatures are cold but not freezing. Food is scarce because there's no photosynthesis. Everything relies on marine snow, dead organic matter falling from above, or on hunting other deep-sea creatures. In this environment, being big has some serious advantages. First, larger animals are more energy efficient. This is Kleiber's rule. A big body uses less energy per unit of mass than a small body. When food is scarce, you want to be as efficient as possible. Second, being big means you can store more energy. When you finally do catch something, you can pack away enough fat and nutrients to survive for weeks or months without eating again. Third, size is a defense mechanism. The giant squid's main predator is the sperm whale. And while sperm whales definitely eat giant squids, A 40-foot-long squid covered in suckers and armed with a sharp beak is not an easy meal. Fourth, cold water allows gigantism. Because it holds more dissolved oxygen than warm water, larger animals need more oxygen. But in the cold deep sea, that oxygen is available. And fifth, being big means you can hunt bigger prey, giving you access to more calories per hunt. So the giant squid evolved to be enormous because the deep ocean environment rewarded size. Its long tentacles and streamlined body let it hunt actively, chasing down prey and striking from a distance. Now, let's talk about the colossal squid, which faced many of the same pressures but evolved differently because it lives in a different environment. The colossal squid lives in Antarctic waters, which are even colder. We're talking 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, just barely above freezing. This extreme cold has a major effect on metabolism. In water this cold, metabolic rates slow way down, which means animals need even less energy to survive. But it also means they move slower, grow slower, and live longer. The colossal squid has adapted to this by becoming a slow-moving ambush predator. The colossal squid also lives deeper than the giant squid, down in the lower bathypelagic zone where pressure is immense and food is even scarcer. In this environment, being heavy and muscular is an advantage because you can overpower prey without needing to chase it. The colossal squid's hooks let it grab onto prey and hold on no matter how much it struggles. There's another factor at play here called polar gigantism, which is the tendency for animals in polar regions to grow larger than their relatives in warmer climates. Scientists think this happens because cold water holds more oxygen, cold temperatures slow metabolism, and polar environments have fewer species but abundant resources during certain seasons. The colossal squid benefits from both deep-sea gigantism and polar gigantism. It's living in the perfect storm of conditions that favor getting absolutely huge. Its massive body stores energy, its thick muscles generate crushing power, and its enormous eyes, the largest of any animal on Earth, let it see in near total darkness. So while the giant squid evolved to be a fast, active hunter in the midnight zone, the colossal squid evolved to be a slow, powerful ambusher in the Antarctic abyss. Same basic strategy, get huge, but different execution based on different environments. Here's where convergent evolution really shines. Both squids independently evolved massive eyes. Both evolved bioluminescence to some degree. Both evolved large beaks to crush prey. Both evolved to be neutrally buoyant using ammonia-filled tissues. And both evolved to hunt in total darkness. These aren't random similarities. They're solutions to the same problems. How do you see in the dark? How do you hunt when prey is scarce? How do you avoid being eaten? Both squids arrived at similar answers even though they evolved separately. But they also evolved key differences based on their specific environments. The giant squid evolved long tentacles and speed because it hunts in slightly warmer water with more active prey. The colossal squid evolved hooks and raw strength because it ambushes slower prey in colder water. Now, let's talk about the evolutionary arms race that both squids are locked in. Because there's one predator that hunts both species and has driven much of their evolution, the sperm whale. Sperm whales are the largest toothed predators on Earth, and they've evolved specifically to hunt giant squids and other deep-sea creatures. These whales can dive over 2,000 meters deep and hold their breath for up to 90 minutes. They use echolocation to hunt in total darkness. When they find a giant squid, they rush in and bite, using their massive teeth to grip and tear. But giant squids don't go down without a fight. Sperm whales often surface with circular scars all over their heads, sucker marks from giant squid tentacles, and sometimes hook wounds from colossal squids. Inside whale stomachs, scientists have found giant squid beaks, proving that these battles happen regularly. This predator-prey relationship has driven an evolutionary arms race. As sperm whales evolved better hunting techniques, squids evolved to be bigger, faster, and more dangerous. The colossal squid's hooks are almost certainly an adaptation to defend against sperm whales. Those hooks can dig into whale skin and cause serious damage. The giant squid's speed and long tentacles let it strike from a distance and potentially escape before the whale can close in. This is convergent evolution driven by predation. Both squids independently evolved traits to fight off the same predator, and that predator's hunting pressure shaped both species in similar ways. Convergent evolution isn't unique to giant squids. It happens all over the animal kingdom. Sharks and dolphins. Sharks are fish, dolphins are mammals, but they both evolved streamlined torpedo-shaped bodies, dorsal fins, and powerful tails because that body plan is perfect for fast swimming. Or how about flight? Bats, birds, and pterosaurs all evolved wings independently. Bats are mammals, birds are dinosaurs, and pterosaurs were reptiles. They have completely different wing structures, but same solution, different blueprints. Eyes have evolved independently at least 50 times in different animal groups. Octopuses, humans, insects, and even some single-celled organisms all have eyes. Evolution keeps reinventing the eye because sight is so useful. So why does this happen? Why does evolution keep making the same animals? The answer is that there are only so many good solutions to common problems. If you want to swim fast, you need a streamlined body. If you want to fly, you need wings. If you want to survive in the deep ocean as a predator, you probably need to get big. Evolution isn't random, it's shaped by physics, chemistry, and the environment. Certain body plans work better than others for specific tasks, and when unrelated species face similar challenges, they often evolve similar solutions. Now here's a fun thought experiment. Could evolution create a third giant squid species? What would it take for another squid to independently evolve into a giant? First, you'd need a deep ocean environment. Shallow water doesn't favor gigantism because food is abundant and competition is high. You need the cold, dark, food-scarce conditions of the deep sea to make gigantism advantageous. Second, you'd need isolation. Both the giant squid and the colossal squid evolved in relatively isolated environments. If you want a third giant squid, you'd need a population of squids to be cut off from other populations long enough to evolve independently, maybe in a deep trench or an isolated deep sea basin. Third, you'd need predation pressure. Sperm whales drove much of the evolution of both giant squid species, so you'd need a large predator hunting squids in your isolated environment. Fourth, you'd need time. Evolution doesn't happen overnight. It would take millions of years for a normal-sized squid population to evolve into giants. And fifth, you'd need an ecological niche. There has to be a reason for the squid to get big. If the environment doesn't reward gigantism, it won't happen. So could it happen? Theoretically, yes, but practically, it's unlikely in the near future. We already have 2 giant squid species occupying the main deep sea niches where gigantism is advantageous. For a third species to evolve, you'd need a new isolated deep sea environment with the right conditions, and you'd need millions of years for evolution to do its work. That said, the ocean is huge and mostly unexplored. There could already be a third giant squid species out there that we just haven't discovered yet. We didn't even know the colossal squid existed until the early 1900s, and we've only ever seen a handful of specimens. So why does evolution keep making the same giant animal? Because gigantism works in the deep sea, it's an effective solution to a specific set of challenges. And when different squid species face those challenges, they independently evolve to be enormous. The giant squid and the colossal squid are perfect examples of convergent evolution. 2 unrelated species arriving at similar solutions because they live in similar environments. But they're not identical. The details of their environments shape them in different ways. One became long and fast, the other became heavy and powerful. One hunts actively, the other ambushes. Evolution creates patterns, but it also creates diversity. The fact that evolution can produce the same basic animal twice, independently, in different oceans, is a testament to how predictable natural selection can be. Certain traits just work, and life will keep finding ways to evolve them. As for whether we'll ever see a third giant squid species, only time will tell. The ocean is vast, evolution is relentless, and the deep sea still holds countless mysteries. Maybe somewhere in the darkness, a population of squids is slowly evolving into the next generation of giants. We just haven't found them yet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into convergent evolution and giant squids, check out the links below for more videos about the weird and wonderful world of ocean creatures.